Litton, creator of The Vision Project. So a slightly different format this week. But first of all, I bet that there is something inside of you that you have a purpose, a gift, a creation. You may know what it is, you may not know what it is yet, but there is something inside of you. Maybe you have an idea for a new business, maybe a new invention, a charity that you want to start, or just some type of mark you want to leave on this world. We're all brought here for a reason, whether you know what that reason is at this time or not. And I know fear is huge. Fear is probably one of the biggest reasons why we don't move forward, or maybe why we don't even start to begin with. So I really hope this next video resonates with you. I'm going to share with you a talk that I did earlier this week. I'm so humbled and honored to have been asked to speak at the Voices of Women Summit amongst 200 other very, very inspiring women who just want to inspire others. And it was truly remarkable. So check this out. I truly hope that my story resonates with you.
Well, hello, I'm Kimberly Crow, and yes, I do have another amazing guest coming up. It's Carolyn Litton. She's going to talk to us about the Vision Project, the method to manifest happiness and success, which is what we're all looking for, I think, in this world. Welcome to the program, Carolyn.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. I'm so excited to be here. This is truly a dream come true for me, so thank you.
Well, I am delighted to have you. This subject is such a subject of passion for me, and I'm looking forward to exploring it with you. But before we do, tell us how you became such so passionate about this particular topic.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Well, first I want to tell a story that'll actually explain exactly how this impacted my life. But first, I want to start with a question too. So how many of you amazing people, amazing viewers out there have a gift inside of you, or like a creation? You have an idea for a book to write, a story to tell, a new invention, maybe a new business to create, or maybe you just want to take your current business to like mind-blowing levels. So you want to do all of this. How many of you does that apply to? If that's you, type yes in the chat.
Type yes in the chat, or type me, or that's me, or absolutely in the chat box. We want to wake up this chat box. So yep, you got them. Everybody's on board. Yes, that's me. New business, that's me. Show me how. Yes. All right, let's go for it.
That is awesome. Well, again, that was me. And about 5 years ago, I had no idea how to do any of that. And I'm so blessed that from trial and error, I figured out the secret recipe, the secret sauce to make this work. It's basically a blueprint. So I call it the Vision Project. And really what it is, it's a method to train your brain. Ooh. So for example, you have all these great ideas and great gifts inside you, but it's okay, maybe you just don't know where to start, or what that first step is. Or maybe you just don't have the clarity and you need some direction. I don't know if that applies to any of you. You have this idea about where do I go from here? Or maybe you have fear. How many of you can relate to that? I could relate to that too, right? Fear of failure, fear of what other people are going to think, and fear of not meeting your own expectations. That's huge. That kills so many dreams before they even start. And then of course, there's, the self-doubt, the insecurities. Do I have the knowledge and the skill set to make this happen? I get you all. I get this. I felt that. And I figured something out that helps answer all those questions and basically combat all those nasty insecurities and things. So again, it's called the Vision Project.
I love it. So yeah, fear absolutely holds us back. And I think it's Brene Brown that said, if you have courage, right, and you step out there into the arena, then there are two nasty little things that come at you. One is, who do you think you are? And the second one is, you're not good enough, right? So really, really tough stuff. And that fear of being out there and being vulnerable can be crippling. So I'm very, very excited to hear about this.
Oh, thank you. And you're right. It can make it to where you don't even start, or it just can cap your level of success. Even in your current business, you think you could only reach, certain levels. So to kind of take you back where I was about 5 years ago and probably like a decade prior to that. So I was a loan officer, very successful in my career. I did mortgages, lending, loved it, worked with amazing realtors, the best in the business. Just, I loved what I did, right? And I was successful, but it did come with a price. I worked very long hours. I bet you and a ton of other people could totally resonate with that, right? So, people would comment, they would drive by my office at 10 o'clock at night and my light was on. 11 o'clock at night, my light was on. So dinner for years, for like over 10 years. And, dinner at 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night in my household was not uncommon. So, but I did sacrifice, time with my husband, time with my family, time with me. So I'm like, there's gotta be a better way. I know there's a better way out there. So anyways, fast forward to like 2019 in the fall, a friend of mine asked me to take this challenge called, I don't know if anyone's familiar with 75 Hard, Andy Frisella, but it's this like crazy, like really intense challenge. And I took it. I'm like, I think I need something to shake up what I'm doing, right? So I take the challenge, and it was interesting because one of the biggest things was that impacted me was reading 10 pages of the self-development book a day. That really impacted me. So I'm like, okay. And I got to thinking, so at the end of the 75 days, I crushed the challenge, and I'm like, I can't go back to how my life was before. So I did some reflecting. So I have this journal that I've had for actually over 15 years. And in this journal, every year I would write all my accomplishments from the year before. And I would write down my goals for the next year. And then I would go back and I would rate how I did on my goals, right? I give them a 1 to 5. 1 was like really bad, and 5 was like, awesome, I did a great job. So I was noticing that a bunch of things I'd written down, like meditation, going for walks, reading, doing more reading, listening to podcasts, those were some of the big things that I had on every single year. And every year they got like a 1 or a 2. It was horrible. And I thought, okay, why am I not doing these? And why do I keep rolling them over to the next year? So I thought, okay, obviously it's something I want and I'm not doing it. And then I'm like, it's my mindset. I realized that I'm just too busy for this stuff, right? I'm too busy. It was time to go for a walk. It was time to do all this stuff. So at that moment, I think it was like a light switch, flip switch. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make this happen. So I was determined, I'm going to make those 1s and 2s 5s. I was just going to do it. And I did. And to say that my life was changed is an understatement. In about a year's time, I over doubled my business. I was happier, grounded, had more time for my family. It was like the best thing in the world. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I was happy. And then I started a charity. I had all this other time to do great things. And I was working less hours because all the things I was learning from my podcast and my books, I would like implement them into my business. And I had time to think. I had time to think on my walks. I had time to do all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, I could do this and this and this, and became more successful. And it was amazing. And then about a year and a half ago, I got this really weird feeling. And it's like, have you ever had that feeling in your gut when you're like, something's off? Yeah. And I was like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm living my dream life. I'm more successful. What is wrong? So I sloughed it off. I'm like, whatever. But it came back again and again. And it was this gut wrenching feeling. So I'm like, okay. So I was listening to a podcast because that's what I do now. And it's funny how I swear you hear the message that you're meant to hear when you
Isn't that true? I used to do that with the oldies on the radio. I just turn it on and it would give like one sentence and I'm like, yep, that's like my tarot reading for the day.
Yes, and it's like just what you needed. And the podcast was saying, okay, the universe will talk to you until you listen. Okay, first it'll tickle you with a feather. Then if you don't respond, it will hit you with a brick. If you still don't respond, it will run you over with a truck. Well, metaphorically speaking, I got run over by a truck twice. Apparently I didn't listen enough the first time, but the second time I heard him loud and clear.
If you can resonate that, put a 1 in the chat. If you're like, yep, I've gotten those messages from the chat, from the universe. I have definitely gotten those messages. I not just, but I actually, I got a very, very clear message where all of my batteries were dying. My phone battery was dying. My laptop battery was dying regularly, like over the course of 2 weeks. Like every time I turned around, another battery was dying, and I couldn't. Finally, my co-host on Speakers Playhouse is like, Kimberly is not getting the message from the universe that she needs to properly recharge her batteries. And that's why all of her electronics are dying. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true.
It does. And it's like, until you listen, it will keep giving you signs. So I'm like, okay, I get it. And honestly, it was God talking to me and saying, like, he has different plans for me now. And my plan was, and actually, I feel like my purpose, I found my purpose from doing the Vision Project. He's like, okay, this method that I created that rocked my world, I'm like, I know this can help others, and I'm meant to share it with others, and not just others, millions of people. So I'm like, woo, that's a tall order there. Okay, already. I came from finance for 3 years already. So I thought, okay, what do I do from here, right? Quit your job if you have to. And I'm like, well, hold on. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way I can do this without sacrificing my financial situation and my clients and my referral partners who I've worked with for so long. I can't let them down. So within a very short period of time, because of the Vision Project, I gained that clarity right away. Okay, you don't have to quit, Carolyn. Why don't you form a lending team, and you could lead them and coach them and have them carry on and conduct business how you do. And it's been amazing. So I started this lending team. They're absolutely amazing. And then I'm like, okay, well now I have more time to focus on the Vision Project. Great. Well, what do I do? So I have another little side story that will totally tie this in. So the African impala, do you know that the African impala could jump 10 feet high, but it can be contained by a wall that's only 3 feet high?
Wow, that's huge. So you could be within 3 feet, they could jump up 10 feet.
Right. They can jump up 10 feet, but they can be contained by a 3-foot wall because they won't jump higher if they can't see where their feet will land. Wow. How many of you can resonate with that? That was me. I didn't know how I was going to get there. How many of you could resonate with that? You have this great idea, but you're just like, I don't know how to make it happen. Well, let me tell you, if you have a compelling why in the steps of the Vision Project, you will get there. So I figured out, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll write a book. Book sounds like a good idea. And lo and behold, things can really all these opportunities, when you open your mind and you practice these steps, all these opportunities come in front of you. So I'm so happy to announce that I'm going to be a part of the Voices of Women book that will be published soon. And then not only did I do that, but I started a YouTube channel. Had no idea how to do that. I was approached to coach individuals and businesses. It's been absolutely mind-blowing. And I literally manifested everything I wanted without compromising anything. So, and I give credit to the Vision Project. So I have 3 big takeaways for our guests out there, right? So the first is mindset. You guys, I didn't change the way that I looked at things. Like Wayne Dyer says, once you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here right now. I would still, yeah.
But we gotta say that one again, because Wayne Dyer is absolutely the bomb.com, right? The late great. But his comment was, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Totally powerful.
Yeah. It's like it's like these blinders were taken off, and I all of a sudden saw this whole world of opportunities and all of this in front of me. So everyone, be open, have an open mind, and just realize that if you change the way that you look at things and things that you may have looked at as trivial, realize that it can make such a huge difference. So be open to your mindset. That's the first thing. The second thing I can tell you is, again, it's the Vision Project, so you have to have a clear vision, right? So just take some time and reflect on what you really want. I don't think I really gave myself the opportunity to do that earlier until I created the vision project. And it's once I got crystal clear on exactly what I wanted that things started happening. And again, the rest of the steps of the vision project, all these daily rituals, those help you with the fears and building knowledge and all of that. But definitely, yeah, I mean, that is huge. So so it's mindset, being clear on your vision. Oh, and then also when you're clear on your vision too, figure out what values are important to you. Because I noticed a lot of times when you're feeling like out of alignment or when things are just off, a lot of times it's because your actions aren't in alignment with your values. So again, knowing what your values are, I think are super important. So get crystal clear on your vision, because if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? And then the last takeaway I have for you are the importance of daily rituals. So the things that I mentioned, meditating, going for walks, it's not just that, right? It's taking time to ground yourself. It's giving you the time that you desperately need to just think and clear your mind. We get so overwhelmed and we have so many responses or things to respond to and so many obstacles thrown our way every single day. So it's when you could take that time and go on that walk and clear your mind and allowing yourself to learn and be open to things and be inspired so you can build that ironclad mindset, because trust me, you're going to need it later. And it's doing these little things every single day. You can actually do these things in an hour's time. You have to prioritize it, and you have to be of the mindset that, hey, this stuff is important. It's not just personal. It will help your personal life, but it's not just your personal, your career, everything else will grow. You'll be more successful. I promise you. So don't look at this stuff as fluff, guys. It's the real deal. So that's my other big takeaway.
I love it. This is so powerful. And definitely it is a way to be able to start manifesting and being able to chase what you're really, really looking for. It's about the mindset. It's about what you are willing to do. So let's talk a little bit about vision. Why the Vision Project?
Oh, sure. Because honestly, that is the foundation. That is where it starts. The daily rituals are great, but if you don't take the time to really get crystal clear on what that vision is, you won't manifest things. You spend time doing things that maybe aren't as important to you, but you don't realize it, right? So you might, and it's really important to be specific, because, some people will say, oh, I would love to travel. And that's wonderful. I'd like to travel. Where do you want to go? Because until you can identify specifically what you want, you're not going to get it. So that's so important. And I feel like once you figure out what you really want, you'll end up as you're reflecting, figuring out why it's important to you. And once you have that down, you're unstoppable. And then the daily components will just help you. Those daily rituals will just keep moving you forward every day.
I love it. Rituals nurture your whole self. And that was put in there by Tanya. Susan says, setting boundaries, small things, mindset is key. Teresa says, know where you want to go. Susan recognizes the hamster wheel and be specific on what you want to do. What are your thoughts on vision boards?
Well, actually, funny that you asked. That's actually one of my main things. I call it the Vision Project Board, which is basically a vision board.
Nice.
But I have a YouTube channel. So in my YouTube channel, I explain, it's actually a 2-part video, how to make an amazing vision board. So yes, I do that. That's part of the foundation, because I figure once you get crystal clear on it, you want to see it, right? You want to bring that dream into reality. So you want to see it and you want to put it in a place where you can see it every single day. So being a speaker, talking to hundreds of people all around the world, I have big things on my vision board, and I'm manifesting them left and right. And I give all the things to the Vision Project.
I love it. All right, so we put the freebie in the link. This is a blueprint to the Vision Project. Tell us what they're going to get when they get this. And then Susan says, thank you, I've already downloaded it. And Teresa says, I love watching your podcast or your YouTube episodes. So you've got a following already in the chat. And we would love to know a little bit more about your YouTube channel as well. But first, tell us about the blueprint to the Vision Project.
Oh, sure. So the blueprint, because I mentioned daily rituals, but I actually explain what all the daily rituals are. So you can start incorporating them to your life. The first step is the vision. So I have like a link to my YouTube channel so you can see the episodes on how to build the vision board. And then I go through again all the details of the daily rituals. And I believe in this so much, and I know this can literally change your life. So I made everything as easy as possible. I put an app to like this insight meditation timer, which is amazing. I mean, how many people struggle with meditation? I know you know it's good for you, but you're like, my mind goes back and forth. I have the monkey mind. I can't concentrate. Well, this is like the most amazing app, and it makes it fun. It makes it easy. It doesn't have to take long. So I really just lay everything out what you need to do every day. You can do it in 1 hour. If you're short for time, you can listen to your podcast while going for a walk. But again, they're not just podcasts. They're not just walks. It's grounding. It's clearing your mind. It's giving you time to digest all this awesome information that you're learning from the greatest visionaries and world leaders out there, and learning how to apply it to your life. And it's magic. It's awesome.
Oh, I love it. But before we let you go, Carolyn, this has been so fabulous. I absolutely love it. I'm all about vision boards. I'm all about the vision projects, and I'm really all about happiness and joy in your life. So that's what this talk was all about. Before we let you go, any final words on that for our crew?
Other than all of you have the power in you to do this. And just get clear on your vision and practice these rituals, and you will take your life to mind-blowing levels.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Do not be the Impala. Don't limit yourself just because you can't see exactly where you're going to land. Have faith that next opportunity will reveal itself at the right time, and let the Vision Project be your guide. So part of my goal is to make this as easy on you as possible. So we actually just created a blueprint, and you can download it, and it basically outlines all of the steps of the Vision Project and lists its benefits so you can easily complete this. It's truly amazing. So you go to vpmanifest.com/download and take that first step. I promise you it is so worth it. I want you to live that fulfilling and enriched life that you deserve. And literally, I have the blueprint for you to follow. Just do it. Don't let fear stop you. And when you follow this blueprint, you will strengthen your mindset, and you'll so better be able to handle any fears and insecurities that come your way. So I can't wait for you to get started. Thank you so much for watching, and as per usual, go forth and be awesome.